Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 27 of Saving Schalke. We have got a game against Bayer Leverkusen today, followed by a game in the Bundesliga against Hertha Berlin. So since we last met, we've been in relatively good form. We've won the last 3 games on the bounce, beating these guys in the second round of the Pokal, then beating Hoffenheim 2-0, and then finally beating Valencia 2-1 away from home in the Champions League. But we've got Leverkusen, who currently sit in third today, then Hertha Berlin, who sit in 12th. Bayer Leverkusen have got Yusuf Moukoko, who I would love to have, and he's the top goal scorer in the league. So I know that it's going to be a difficult game today. They've also got a former man of ours in Adeyemi. So hopefully we can get one over on both of them today. A few tired legs going into this fixture. Mariba's tired and Schmidt is tired. I think this is going to be our starting 11 going into the game. So we've got Georgie, Wagnerman, Kevin, Anel, Sanders, Schmidt, Scott, Mariba, Demir, Elliott and Sesko up top. This is what I would class as our strongest 11 this year. Obviously, I think that Santos, when you look at him, he is a good player. However, every time that I've tried to use him, he's never played well enough. So I might play him against Hertha Berlin in the second episode, but we need our strongest side going into this game against Bayer Leverkusen, and this is what I perceive our strongest 11 to be. Like I was saying with Bayer Leverkusen, they've got a few familiar faces in their ranks with Moukoko, Adeyemi. They've got William Saliba, who was on loan with us last year. So it's going to be a tough game. Hopefully we can win it and continue somewhat good form. But I'll tell all of the players that I've got faith in them to make a difference, and hopefully we can get a victory today. So we've got the first highlight here, 7 minutes in, Elliott with the corner, and Anel flicks it onto Sesko, and Sesko headers it into the back of the net to make it 1-0 to Schalke. I would say that Sesko has been one of my favourite players to use this year on Football Manager. I've had him in a few of my saves, personal ones as well, and he's been by far the best goal scorer I think I've found this year. So it's fantastic to see him put us 1-0 up. Sanders has a throw in here into Mariba, back to Schmidt, into Anel, and Sanders on the ball here. Looks to play forward, but Wolf closes him down. But he's got time to open up and plays a fantastic ball over the top for Sesko. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he puts it past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0 to Schalke just before the 15-minute mark. So we've come out of the blocks in this game flying, and this is all down to Sesko on fantastic form. So lovely ball from Sanders over the top. Sesko holds his line, takes a touch to open up enough of a gap to just slot it past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0 here. Sanders was a throw in here into Harvey Elliott, who's going to look to turn and put a cross in, which he does, and it goes to Sesko at the back post, and he headers it in to make it a hat-trick after 24 minutes and make it 3-0 to Schalke on the night. So it's a fantastic start and fantastic goals from Sesko, showing his desirability for other clubs to look for him, which we have had a few clubs interested in him, but I do want to keep hold of him because he is our star man, I would consider. We've got a free kick here with Anel passing it up to Sanders, and another fantastic ball over the top to Sesko. Looks to try and chip the goalkeeper, but it just goes over the bar, and it's a goal kick to Bayer Leverkusen. Sanders plays it into Anel from a throw-in, and he'll play it into Mariba. Back to Schmidt. Back to Anel here, who plays it all the way back to Georgie, who's got plenty of time and finds Kevin on the right-hand side. And he's going to play it forward to Yusuf Demir. Glad to have him back from injury, and he plays a fantastic ball through to Sesko, 1-on-1, chips the goalkeeper, and once again that is just over the bar. So it was a fantastic ball from Demir, and unfortunately Sesko can't finish. Half time, we have been the better side. We've had 7 more shots to them. Sesko has scored a hat-trick for us, and he's going in with a 10 rating currently. So I'm fantastically overpleased by the way that all of our players have been playing. You've got a few that are just under a 7, but apart from that, the rest of the team have played fantastic. And let's hope we can continue, because a victory today can help us close the gap to the chasing pack behind Bayern Munich. We would only be 2 points behind Dortmund, Leipzig, and then 4 behind Bayer Leverkusen, who are a further 2 behind Mönchengladbach, and then ultimately another 4 behind Bayern Munich. So there's 10 points between us and Bayern Munich, and it looks like Mariba has won the header to put us 4-0 ahead, but they're calling offside here, and I think it said along the bottom that Scott was in an offside position. So the goal will be awarded. So in fact he wasn't offside. As you can see here, when Mariba won the header, you've got a defender on the line with the goalkeeper covering Scott. So it puts us 4-0 up after 55 minutes. They've got a throw-in on their left-hand side into their Ivan Yanez, I think his name was. Played ball forward here. Very tight angle for him to have a shot, so he plays it back to his left back, and their centre mid has a shot, but it's well wide and it stays 4-0. And on that point I will make a few substitutions. I'll take off Demir as he's just recovering from an injury, put Sidi Sane on the right hand side. Harvey Elliott is getting tired, so I'll bring on Rasic, and then I'll also bring off Mariba and play Blanco in the midfield. I feel like this victory today is surely secured, so I'm quite happy to make a few changes to our more important players to give them a bit of a rest, because I hope that we can see this game out now. Georgie plays the ball out to Schmidt, who plays it back to Kevin, played forward to Christopher Scott. He's going to look to find Sesko over the top, but unfortunately it's intercepted by their centre-back. They're going to look to come forward here on the left-hand side once again. Adeyemi can't win the ball there for them, so we clear it to Wagnerman, into Schmidt, back to Kevin, out to Wagnerman on the right-hand side. Sane is going to look to burn past his man, but he has to go back as he is forced that way by their man. And we're just keeping the ball quite nicely here. We're not forcing anything at the moment. Anel has picked the ball up from Georgie, who plays it back to Georgie here, who plays it wide right to Wagnerman, but they intercept the ball and they're going to look to try and build an attack of their own. And Jamie has an opportunity, and it's just put wide by him to keep it at 4-0. 5 minutes to go of the game, so we'll just see this game out now. With the victory here, it puts us up to 6th in the league, which is nice to see. Just overtaken Cologne, and in the second game we've got Hertha Berlin, who currently sit in 12th position in the league, so hopefully we can get another victory there. But Sesko's had a fantastic game on a 9.9. I'm over the moon with how everyone played. As you can see, a lot of the players, apart from the substitutes that came on, all had a game over 7.0, so it's fantastic to see. And we are starting to apply a bit of pressure onto the chasing group behind Bayern Munich, which is something you like to see. But I've got the international break now, so I'll go through that and bring you back for the game against Hertha Berlin. So we've reached the game against Hertha Berlin after the international break. I'm going to make a few changes. I'm going to bring in Santos, as a few of the players has come up to me and complain that he's not playing enough as they want him to. I'll also bring off Demir, as he did get injured on the international break. After coming back from injury, he's out for 3 to 5 weeks from the injury that he has ultimately picked up. I'll also bring in Blanco in the centre defensive mid role instead of Schmidt, because he's very tired. So the team that I'll be going out here against Hertha Berlin with is Georgie, Wagnerman, Kevin, Santos, Sanders, Blanco, Scott, Mariba, Sane, Elliott, and then finally Sesko up top. On fantastic form in the last 5 games, he's on a 7.9, so let's hope he can continue. Hertha Berlin do normally get a big cash inject. They normally have a tycoon takeover whenever they play, so I haven't really seen who they've brought in, but they've got a few good players. They've got Dominic from RB Leipzig that they've brought in. They've got Solet, who was from RB Salzburg, that I looked at a couple of years ago. Paul Lopez, very good goalkeeper. Svanberg is another centre mid that I have looked at previously. So they do have a few players that I have personally looked at. So it's going to be a tough game because I know that they are good players when I scouted them. However, I'm going to go and hope that we can get a few goals in this game. And I've motivated all of the players apart from Santos and Blanco. So let's just hope that they can create something for Sesko to score. But let's just get straight into this game now. Free kick here for Hertha Berlin. Traore puts the ball in for Dominic at the back stick, who headers it past Georgie, who's already dove to try and claim the ball. But Dominic has an empty net just to guide the header into, and as you can see here, he's unmarked at the back post. 2 of our players are marking 1 player there, so it's a very disappointing start to be 1-0 behind, just coming up to the half an hour mark now. Paul Lopez has got a goal kick here, plays it long, and we're going to challenge for it, and Sanders knocks it down to Harvey Elliott, who looks to find Sesko, but their centre-back wins the ball and plays it to Solet, who plays back to their goalkeeper, who once again will play long. Santos wins a header and it falls to Mariba, who finds Sesko. Out to Sane, tries to find Harvey Elliott, but once again loses the ball. And they're going to come forward once again, trying to attack us on the left-hand side, which I would considerably say that is our stronger side. But Sanders is caught out of position here, and they're just driving forward with it. Lena on the right-hand side for them puts a ball in, and Morial hits it against Kevin, and it goes out for a corner to Hertha Berlin. 32.5 minutes into the game, Traore will put the ball in from the resulting corner, and it looks like they're going to have a second bite of the cherry, but we clear it through Mariba. Svanberg picks it up, finds Lena, trying to drive forward on the right hand side once again to put a ball in, and he's continuing to run and unfortunately pulled up, which is very fortunate to us. But Mariba plays it out to Elliott, forward to Sesko, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, tries to lob it over Lopez and it hits the post. So it's so unlucky from Sesko again. He's tried to dink the goalkeeper 3 times in 2 games and unfortunately none of them have come off. Throw in here on the left hand side for Hertha Berlin, forward to Traore, who finds Dominic, who's going to look to turn and put the ball in, but only finds Sidi Sane as he cuts the ball back, who finds Scott to Blanco, back to Kevin, driving forward with it slightly, plays it back to Blanco, who's covering for him as he drove forward, who finds Scott in the middle here, driving forward with it himself, slots the ball into Harvey Elliott, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he puts it into the back of the net to make it 1-1 to Schalke just before the half-time whistle. So I was going to go into half-time telling the boys that they need to change the way that they're playing, but if this is awarded, which it is, I will still say the same, but it won't be that bad of an impact because we are on level terms now as we go into half-time. So it's not like we're having to claw back a victory this time. We've only got 1 goal to sort of win the game essentially in the second half. So it's been disappointing in terms of how we've played, but we do go in half-time level terms. I will try and motivate them as much as possible, which has happened. So let's just head straight into the second half and hope for a victory. Sanders on the ball here, trying to play the ball over the top. Pau Lopez will take a free kick here. Plays it long, Kevin wins the header. Finds Harvey Elliott, who'll look to find Sesko over the top. But they play it back to their goalkeeper, who has to rush out the clearance. And it falls to Wagnerman, who finds Scott, back to Blanco. Looks to find Mariba, Sesko, finds Wagnerman, has a shot, and Lopez makes a fantastic save to push it over the bar. So we do have a corner here, which Sidi Sane will take, aiming for that front post, but unfortunately he can't beat their first man, and it stays 1-1. Half an hour to go. I'm going to bring on Sanders and bring on Regari for left back position. Looking at the other positions, I don't think there's any other changes that I ideally want to make at this current moment in time, but I will have a shout at the players and demand more from them. So with half an hour to go, let's hope we can get something created, and it might just come here with Regari on the left hand side. Just come onto the pitch, ball across for Sidi Sane, who wins the header, and it hits the top of the bar and goes over for a Hertha Berlin goal kick. Just under 15 minutes to go. I'm going to take off Mariba as he is tiring. I'll bring on Robert Wagner in the centre mid position. And apart from that, I think I'm just going to keep it the way it is and hope that Sesko can come up with a goal in the dying embers. Corner here with Regari. Ball comes in, Sesko wins the header, and that is into the back of the net. So that is 4 goals in 2 games for Sesko here, and it looks like that it could secure us a victory here today, being 2-1 up with just over 5 minutes to go. But Regari makes an impact by coming off the bench. Ball comes in, and Sesko leaps above everyone to put it into the back of the net. So with a victory here, it does push us up to 4th in the league. However, you've got Leipzig and Dortmund who are just below us with a game in hand. So we might slip down to 6th in the league, but it just shows that we are in for a fighting chance in the Champions League places for this season. So hopefully we can continue to push up the league with a few good results here and there, and potentially even be challenging Bayern Munich for the league later on in the season if we can take points off of them. But a victory here today against Hertha Berlin, a good victory. I'm happy with the way that we played, especially in that second half. We came out in the second half and created a lot of chances. By looking at the stats, it was very dominated by us in the second half. But I will come back shortly I think I'll come back for the final game of the Champions League. We might qualify against Shakhtar Donetsk depending on how the results go, but I think I'll come back for the Werder Bremen and Inter Milan game because I've shown you enough of Bayern Munich in the recent episodes. So I'll come back for Werder Bremen and Inter Milan in the final group game of the Champions League. But if you have enjoyed, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Check our Instagram in the description below. But apart from that, I'll see you in the next episode.